cheat.
Like you said, I'm cheating for no
You will cheat. One day he will do. I don't care if it's ping pong, he gonna
Right,
get it.
like how I'm
If
cheating.
it's ping pong, he want the advantage in the paddles.
I don't care about a paddle.
You figure out how to win.
I'm gonna win. Ain't no figure out. I'm gonna win.
A hell of an experience. You get that type of knowledge, that type of IQ.
I look up to Bud a lot. Honestly, he one of the realest dudes that I done met. He's still a normal person in his head. Like, he don't believe that he's above everyone else. That's how I feel about myself.
You see me around a lot. Don't act like you ain't seen me around
Them days.
He said that I do.
Bud, come on. Terence talking, I try not to talk back. I try to just listen and
Straight boom. Straight shot. Like right here.
He like a sponge. He soak up everything that he need to soak up, put it into his arsenal.
You think you know who the fastest and smartest boxer is? Think again. This fight will change everything you thought about boxing. Watch closely, because missing this could cost you seeing a legend in action. Terence Crawford is training with Shakur Stevenson ahead of his big fight against Teofimo Lopez. Crawford says Stevenson is one of the toughest fighters to face because of his speed, defense, and sharp mind in the ring. He explains that Stevenson's mix of skill, quick moves, and awareness makes every opponent adjust constantly, showing just how dangerous he can be. Watching him closely proves Stevenson is a serious challenge for anyone.
the people that don't go very far. You gotta always be a student. You gotta always be able to learn and pick up things from this person, that person.
He's a work of art. The sky is the limit with Shakur. He got the boxing skills and the ability to, do whatever he wants in the ring. And it's going to be very hard to beat Shakur, with the skills that he possesses and the smarts that he has. And given the opportunity, I think he can pose a great threat to every.
Crawford speaks highly of Stevenson in a supportive, almost brotherly way. He says, some may call Shakur boring, but they don't see his real talent and ring intelligence. He compares Stevenson to Floyd Mayweather, who was once called boring too, but became a legend. Crawford believes Stevenson's skills, precision, speed, and smart tactics, are at the same elite level, making him a fighter everyone should respect and watch closely.
I got Shakur.
Are you saying that because that's your man and you don't like Tank?
No. Hey, like I said, I respect Tank. Boxing, he's one of the ones.
Yeah.
we gonna take his personality and personal things out of it. But boxing, he's definitely talented.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's definitely got that it. And he's definitely respected in boxing. But Shakur is a different fighter. Shakur is different. People may call him boring. People may say he can't punch. But they say the same thing about Floyd. Because they defensive.
In the training camp, Crawford teaches Stevenson different techniques, showing him how to learn tricks from every opponent. This helps Stevenson become more adaptable and sharp in the ring. Beyond just training, they spend time together, creating a family-like bond that builds trust. This mix of technical growth and personal support helps Stevenson grow as both a fighter and a person.
It's like a black kind of thing, like no disrespect. Like it's like like when you go to cookouts and all your family be sitting there playing spades and like our.
Boxing analyst Chris Algieri says that real growth comes when top fighters face each other, no matter the risk. He believes that taking on elite opponents, even if it means losing sometimes, tests a boxer's true abilities. Setbacks teach strategy, adjustment, and resilience. Avoiding tough fights might keep a perfect record, but it doesn't prove skill. Algieri emphasizes that courage in the ring defines a fighter as much as victories do.
Of boxing on this side of the world, listen, there's nothing like the Garden. We've both fought there many times. I fought in the big room. There's nothing like the Garden. Just the vibe, like you said, champ, that's around that. And this fight is deserving to be here. It's that good of a fight. It's that big a fight, and especially like I said, like the health of American boxing. This is one of the best fights that can be made, and putting it in the Garden just makes too much sense.
But the idea of the turmoil, the eyes on it, the spectacle, the circus. Chris, you talked about the idea that Teofimo Lopez kind of lives in this. That's where he flourishes. That's what he loves. This idea that because there's so many eyeballs on it, it's going to be kind of a circus. Does that favor Teofimo a little bit when you look at the strategy? Yes, no?
I'm going to say well, I can't say for certain because there's no certain with Teofimo Lopez. He's one of the most up, down, left, right guys I've ever been around.
Mercurial, we could say.
I mean,
yes.
But when he is on, he's damn near unbeatable. I mean, he's such a good athlete. He has such a good boxing IQ. He's so physical and explosive. And again, I've said this on past shows. I've called him many times for Top Rank, been around fight weeks. And it just seems to me, the more out of sorts he seems, the more back against the wall it looks like, the more that he's an underdog, the better he performs. And this could be that kind of situation. New York is a tough place, man. They're already gibbering, going back and forth, saying like, you know, he reps Brooklyn, but there's kind of questions about his Brooklyn roots. Can he really rep Brooklyn in the way that he says he can? So he's already getting that heat for that. I don't know. It might be a good thing to kind of poke the bear in terms of how well Teofimo is going to show up.
Paulie, that's a huge. You're from Brooklyn. That's a big insult to say that you're not really from Brooklyn.
Insult him a little bit.
Insult him a little bit. Insult him, man.
But I'll tell you what. There's so many thoughts in my head with this situation because Teofimo is at his most dangerous when he's counted out, and this is going to be one of the.
Teddy Atlas defends both Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez against critics who claim they avoid big challenges. He says these ideas are outdated because both fighters consistently take on tough opponents. Atlas highlights their speed, skill, and smart strategies, showing they are ready to face anyone. Stevenson and Lopez have proven they want the toughest fights, so the old idea that they dodge challenges no longer applies.
And Teofimo at certain spots, he's avoiding this guy, he's avoiding that guy. You can't take those shots at these two guys. Definitely can't now. They are stepping up and they are taking fights that a lot of people are probably surprised they took. Now, a lot of people will say style-wise, Teddy, style-wise, is this going to be a great fight? I don't know if it will. I mean, style-wise, I could see you having a little reservations, you know, whether or not these guys will make for dynamite, they will make, you know, for electricity. I don't know if they will, but I'll tell you what they will make for. Two skillful fighters, two talented fighters, you know, two fighters that are at a high skill level that will compete in the sweet science. I mean, Shakur showed aggression in his last fight against Cepeda, you know, being elusive while being aggressive. You know, walking them down, fighting on the inside, you know, boxing well, still being able to counter, still being able to control space, but also be able to go into tight quarters and not be afraid to show that he's good on the inside too, that he can make you miss and make you pay outside and inside. Shakur showed that. That was great. That was great, and people applaud him. I applaud him. We were sitting there, ringside. I was sitting there actually with your sister, ringside, watching that fight. And it was a terrific performance. Shakur showing that dimension, showing that attitude, showing that competitiveness, showing that dog like people like to show or like to talk about. And they wanted to.
Paulie Malignaggi points out that Lopez often faces criticism and is sometimes underestimated before big fights. Stevenson's higher profile, more fans, more media coverage, can overshadow Lopez's talent. But Lopez has incredible power, speed, and skill, which cannot be ignored in the ring. Malignaggi warns that underestimating him would be a mistake. This fight will show who can handle pressure, skill, and public attention.
Because Teofimo is at his most dangerous when he's counted out. And this is going to be one of those fights where he's going to be counted out. Because Shakur is looked at by and large as the guy who can dominate boxing in this generation, right? It's just a matter of him getting the opportunity. I myself have felt that he's the guy who could and should be dominating boxing if he gets the right matchups. But bro, this is one of the rare matchups, if not maybe the only matchup, where I feel like it's a big threat here to Shakur. And then it would all come undone only because of this reason. Teofimo Lopez, we've seen him at his best. but he typically brings out his best characteristics when he's back into the wall and he's counted out. And he's going to be counted out in this fight. By and large, people are going to side with Shakur in this fight to win the fight because he's the more consistent fighter, he's the more class fighter overall, and he's just so damn good. But Teofimo has a way, when you're so damn good and he knows you're so damn good and everybody feels like you're gonna beat him, there's just something about Teofimo, man. He brings out a different level and somehow supersedes that guy who is that damn good. I've seen it. We've seen it already. I'm not saying anything that anybody else hasn't already seen, okay? I'm just stipulating it. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know who wins this fight. Because again, your better head says Shakur, but then you think about, man, Teofimo. Again,
he's got the X factor.
What I just explained.
He's got the talent to
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Shakur is extremely talented and could be the face of boxing as far as being that good and being that dominant, even though no matter how good you are. But this is one of the rare fights where you can get beat. And I don't ever want to hear any of you tank nut huggers that he fights one Uber driver after another. If Shakur Stevenson loses this fight, I don't ever want to hear any of you saying, oh, well, what about Shakur now? Tank this, tank that. Tank fights the guy that delivers my pizza. He fights the guys in the back that are doing the production. He fights the truck driver. I don't want to hear, because he would never have gone.
Analyst Wade notes that both Lopez and Stevenson likely studied each other closely because they came through similar paths in boxing. He says both are highly skilled, but they fight differently. Stevenson doesn't rely just on aggression, he adapts to his opponent, using timing, movement, and strategy. Lopez's power makes him dangerous, but Stevenson's smart approach aims to control the fight. Fans can expect a tactical battle where skill, strategy, and intelligence will decide the winner.
And that's the part where I'm like, okay, he's gonna be very surprised come fight night, to where it's like, you really thought I was slow? Like, is that something like you put in your brain and thought it was about to come out there and work?
It is interesting to hear, both of them talk about each other, because there's probably not two guys that know each other better, that haven't fought, but have seen each other, been around each other, AMI tournaments and followed each other's career under the same promotional banner than Tio and Shakur, right? Outside of, again, sparring together, training not to fight each other, there's probably not guys that know how they operate better. So if Tio is saying, I'm going to go out there and make you quit, essentially break you and stop you, that's something we haven't seen anyone get close to even hurting Shakur, really. Like, people say to fight, Zepeda hit him with the right hand and Shakur got wobbled, even though it was clearly slipped. I thought that was one of Shakur's better performances, because he dug down and bit down on his mouthpiece and said, I'm not just going to play the back foot and be slick and turn this into a very low output fight that I'll win because I'm just, he's better than Zepeda. But he went out there and dogged it out a little bit, and I respected him for it. I don't expect him to fight the same way versus Teofimo. Don't. And I think people are looking at the Zepeda fight and going, yeah, that's Shakur we want. And I don't want to say he's going to disappoint people, but he will not fight that way with Tio. He won't. And Tio won't fight the same way William Zepeda did. They'll both be very measured. I think it'll be a very slow-paced, low-output fight. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could see maybe they go to war or something, but we're talking about styles making fights, and Tio's style, even if he's on his front foot, he doesn't commit to a lot of punches on the front foot, but he can fight that way. Shakur almost exclusively wants to go defense to offense versus leading the exchange. So I don't know, not to say Shakur will be on the back foot the whole time. That's not necessarily how I see the fight going, but I don't know if this is going to be like a knockdown, drag him out type of thing. I think we're going to get a defensive, sweet side.
I think Shakur, yeah, my first mind tells me Shakur, and I thought about it, yeah, I'm picking Shakur by decision, but because this is fighting, anything can happen. You can't count Tio out. So there is thoughts sometimes that cross my brain, like, damn, what if Tio catch him like third though? You know what I mean? And hurt him. Or what if he just out hustling? You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit that crossed my mind, but I still like Shakur for the dub. I like Shakur for the dub because he knows how to win. Like, he knows how to win. You know what I'm saying? And he's always prepared to win. So, and I think Shakur respects Tio to the point where he gonna train like he's never trained before, because this is a great fight for him. This is probably the best fight of his career up to date. Even though he's been in some great fights, this is probably the best opponent. You know what I mean? And Tio, same for Tio. So when it's like that, when you put Magic and Bird together,